Yade sheme mu nyina makwa baba Gam TV jimedi atudi Abrabo eso na ene no na wache se ne na me ne eye lawyer Thomas ena na etwetwe nkomo efa ono ne ho ne nadwuma oye ena o kire me se wakwadere ewa immigration law eye family law ene labor law mu na me mana kire yimu ekwan asa emra we se nyina ye adwuma wa ha se ene ekwan ofa so eboa enkrofo ewo sa ensem we se eho ena me yetwetwe hu komo na wo twe mu no na wo twe we se yasen aba ye ba abetoa so na me koso aka wo Saturday na ehye me no eya nte Suzy ona de ma me wo se me kan kire wo se oba na se wo peliza ne bo wo fom entuma ne bo wo fom eye papa 2014 di odi nneoma hodo ene di aba enti bra ne honom na betu esika ketu bi nenya nema bebere do so pro nefa ekofie unity scanner so aye ekofie no ogusu a oye enti bra na so be yiska koma adofo owie na nkemu da dia paso si mu na otwitwa na ode ehye me enti se oba nkemu da ohumi osikani a me do be ma nkemu da no so ama ho ayefe ye to dwumadie ne so na ma menka wo se dwumadie no ye kakasa mienu na bom eye brofo ene ye krom kasa twi enti lawyer beka brofo na eja osikani me so me dia abatwi enti we waso na etiye. And lawyer, do you know something? I also like to ask. Last year, I also heard about this same issue you are talking about. And I have a friend. She has been here for almost 15 years. She went to the lawyer, and the lawyer told her that she is above the age limit they were asking for. What was the age limit?
The age limit, well, there were a number of conditions.
Yeah.
First of all, in sometime in your history in the Netherlands, either you or your parents should have applied for asylum. If you don't have an asylum application in you or your family's history, then you don't qualify.
Okay.
What's also very important is that in your history in the Netherlands, you should always have stayed in contact with the IND, with the Dutch government. So they should have known that you were there. For example, by getting the stamps once every month, for example, or visiting the police office once every month. So lots of people fail to meet that requirement.
Okay. Na me busane say or ka bibi say omo ananka nkra na omo ba ha say ache no omo no na ye ma omo saa enkrata ni we say afide twa mu no na me busane say minimo bi ho no oba e be mfie dunum ni na so ka so okolo ya ho no mama lawyer akoya ma no lawyer ne ka che ni say wabro emfie ni so na o ka che me say enye emfie ni die mpu but die nanka omo hwe no eye afine twa mu no aba ne die no ye omo ankwa ne nkrata no so obi ne wabetena krum ase ne maami ana ne papa betena krum ase na wadi aduro wa hase na ache na ebi a wa ne ba no wa ase na ne ba no eni nkrata no saa enkura no na ye hwe ema omo saa asetra no wa hase no na omo de saa asem we say e baaye no enkofo bebre no omo baaye no bebre entumi emiti saa regulations we say and conditions we say because na omo madi no no so omo so a omo ni no na omo ma e ba hase abetra ase ya che no bia ye twe omo fu omo di omo baaye no omo nyina no na omo emiti saa condition enu nti na bebre enya saa akwanya no.
And what's also important to know that right now the amnesty stopped. So there's no more possibility to apply for it.
Oh, okay.
It's a finished
Okay.
chapter.
That was for only last year.
Exactly.
It comes once in a while.
Well, there's no promises to that. There have been two kinds of amnesties.
Yeah.
The one that I explained about up till now.
Yeah.
It's really a matter of politics.
Okay.
About whether they will grant another amnesty, and it could take years.
Okay.
So, if one were to happen, quite possibly there will be no more amnesties. Nobody knows.
Okay.
It's a matter of politics.
Okay. The na lawyer I can say sa asemi aye kan wan asemi say ebi obi abedi aduro e wa ha say na ne ba benya wa wo ba wa ha say na ne ba benya asetina no eno no de no kan say eno afi na etwa mu no e na aban no eye nti no say what we na bia wo de wani ato so say obetimi akoye dia ene wasere wa enfo ni to see because etu atwa efi you could do who rest be a payment this embrya you will win amnesty ya abana aye you pet and then the can or ye no and then the tossing you know a last year cast will be a dear drew into no oh wow bow has seen us winning grata you meet me am an certain and I want say you say a beer see abana have a map be before you need na ye machine with your phone name or more eja or more aban mono in this what that's what we need to be so there and you why do you feel sick because bibisa na bia ebeba ebedi afe ansana aba. And lawyer, do you know something I also would like to ask? Recently we heard something like if you apply for Dutch book or if you get married to someone, it takes 7 years for you to get your Dutch book.
With the Dutch book, you mean the Dutch passport?
Yeah, the Dutch passport. How true is it?
Well,
because there is a rumor in town that if you marry someone, let's say your wife is in Ghana and your wife joins you here, before the person, not only your wife, it could be your child, anybody, it will take about 7 years for that person to get the Dutch passport. How true is that?
It is true. It used to be 5 years.
Yeah.
But the government, they're trying to make everything much harder.
Yeah.
So right now it would be 7 years.
It would be 7 years.
Yes, it takes 7 years. Yes.
Na mi bisa a year lawyer said, say and some a year tie e won from money say, se bia wokofa wo ba bi ana wunue bi ana se wo yire ana wo kru bi eba ana se obi a betena ase a ebedi mfie nso ansana ye be ma na setena ya ma na setena na eno no kra be ne wum eno o se eye no kra first pa na ye mfie num ba se di omo de ko mfie nso na aban no bomode se obema anim ma yedin enti no se wo de wani ato so se bi mfie nu na ba bejo eyi det enwuma eni fa che otirim say mfie nso ansana won saka. And lawyer, I would like to ask the 7 years, which people that apply to? Like if let's say I applied for the passport about 6 months ago or a year ago, and yet I don't have my passport. Does that new law affect me?
No, it will always affect. Law always looks at the date of the application. Okay. So if you made the application earlier and you're still awaiting the decision, or you had the decision but you're awaiting the ceremony, then don't worry about it.
Okay. Now me bisa lawyer say, bia me krata anko tu mu se mpese me ji hase engoma no. Bia bosome insia, bosome mienu, bosome miensa, bia afe. Eno no so no nti ebeka me anase hwan mo na saa Emra we say every woman and what church we say and yes said what they call 2 mu bia bosome ba kon and emre ya ba ani nti e be count so what they call 2 man san emra na e ba abonten a wo de tumu da wo da ada enkam na emra no mo de ba e be fa na say bia ne ne de emra na ba na se enne e na wo ankasa wo ko na okobusa se wo pe eye ahase asetran anase ahase enwuma no dia e free enne ko no se wo enne na ade 2 mu a wo sa amra emfie so no etimi edu but say no na adekotu ne mra ne ba dia emra no endu e wo ho. Yeah, lawyer, I want to ask this question based on the 7 years we were talking about. Let's say I'm in Ghana or my relation is in Ghana. I want him or her to join me here in the Netherlands. The first day the person set his or her foot on this land, how many years do they give the person as a stay permit?
It really depends on the situation. What you have to know is that as soon as you get your rightful stay in the Netherlands, that's when the clock starts ticking, and you have to have rightful stay for 7 years. Then you can do the application for the passport. How to do those 7 years? Because nobody gets a permit for 7 years.
Okay.
So it really depends on the situation, how long the first resident permit lasts, and after the first one expires you can string other permits.
So it all depends on your situation.
It really
that
depends
is where
on your situation.
Okay, that is where they will give you, let's say 5 years stay permit, 2 years or 1 year. Then after the 7 years then you can apply for the Dutch passport.
Yes.
Yeah. Mami bisa lawyer say bi aye fa ne say me wa ha say ne bi ampese me yere anase me nua be ma na me nua ba ana obi ebe ka me ho wa ha say di pakọ no enne odi nansi sa asase we say so ana dech mamu ha say ya permit anase kwan a ese onya edetena ha say no sen ye de ma no ebi a emfie num emfie 9 emfie mi na afe baako ene wo ka say ni nyina ejina eye adekuro nti a wo ba ha say se wo ba be ye eso ene ebegina so edi amount ebi a yemfa ne say wa ba ha say ne bi a wo yere na ade na ba ana aba na ade na ba dedi kan ne bi a ye ma ne 5 years 5 years no ye bi a ye ma 7 years new street e be ma ne 5 years na no 5 years na so ye bi a ye ma ne 2 years account na 2 years no wa di ha say emfie so no wodi ni pa na ba na ma be di ha say emfie so no emfie so na chi ansana watumi e de akotum say mo me ha nwoma no e ma me ntena ha say enti emfa ho situation na wo de ba ha say ni mu eno de otwi mutan a emfie so no ubetwa e wo asase we say so Netherlands say ansana we say the amount wo krata na say ye ka say Dutch book no ansana the amount
and what's also important to know is that the 7 years of rightful stay, they have to be consecutive. So if there is a gap in between, then the timer starts again at 0 and you have to do another 7 years.
I see.
So for example, if you've been here for 3 years and somehow you fail to get the new permit in time,
okay,
your permit expires.
Okay.
Half a year later you manage to get a new one.
Yeah.
Then that means there's a 6-month gap.
Yeah. So you have to start all over again.
Yeah.
Hey, really,
so be very careful.
Yeah. Emu eshi na o sa kan to aso say ebi a me fa ne say oba ye no ye di ama wo say betina ha say ya ma stay permit no enfie num na enfie num no watena ho no ma enfie num na ewu ebi abosumi nsi abeto so afi na wo ko asa ko renew no wasa akọ kasa ma betina enfie num betina enfie num na abode ma me ewu enti ma tena fie bosumi nsia ana bosumi enso ana bosumi nan enti maba mo sa fa enfie me na aka no sama me ntina ha se anu wase wo kosa na omo nhwe nim na esese enfie nso na obedi ansa na de Dutch book na ma ono o ma enfie num ni wu na so ankwa akọ renew na bosumi nsia beto so ana afi ana bosumi na beto so ana ekwan bedam na so sa akwa enfie so na afi na akwasha ase enfie num na odi ke twae no ahye egu afna asa akwasha ase afi baako akodu enfie so no enti mesro so oba na se ma o sa enfie na entwen emani nwu ansa no aka se bekwa ko renew enti mpani ni manimu ya no akwa renew no na eja wanye bregu ansa meye edikabedi echi so what ya say sir bebesi esesi abontin na yesan ekotie obi so asebisa obusa aye na yeba na lawyer eji anoma aye nti yensan enko emra bache ye fraud sen
bache ye frame coffee
na bra coffee asembe na pese obusa lawyer
me maximum pese mbisa say in case ebia oba ekrom ha no wenya case ma ye do wo akọ prison criminal prison for 2 months omu na bia omu ja after 2 months no ena ja okoye adwuma na wo msan be fao e do call illegal ayi but hono ekoyi ba se wako criminal prison nti wo ama letter say undesirable alien na cha say untumi ye krata nti mpese mi bisa lawyer no say e possible say unyi obi so be warewa e betumi ayi ana that's the question
me da si bebre wakọ ababio eba Abrabo TV show eso Elgam TV so na me ne lawyer Thomas and etwetwe nkomo e immigration law ne family law ne labor law eno na wakwadre wo mu na me etwe nkomo na yepia bontin ekutie asembisa odofo bi wo edema no nti asamba studio ha say ye be man lawyer Thomas asan atrechi mu de asembisa ye nua no ebusa ewa abontin no lawyer we just went out to listening to this brother's question, and all that he was saying is that let's say if you are illegal here and you be arrested before, and after the arrest you were being released and now you want to apply for stay permit here, is that possible, and what are the chances?
It's a very good question, but it's a question that I cannot give a straight answer to right now because it really depends on the specifics of the situation. What kind of permit is very important. Also very important is why you were in prison. Was it because of a crime? And did the court judge, did they say you did it and you're supposed to be punished? Or was it just because you were in prison for the police to do their investigation? Or was it because you were in alien detention? It really depends on the exact situation, what the consequences are of being in prison for some time, and the permit that you would like to get. So there's no straight answer. It's a very difficult situation. There could definitely be some risks in applying for a permit after you've spent a little while in prison or in detention. So definitely see a lawyer to explain your situation, give all the details, and get a proper assessment before making any moves, because the risks are definitely there.
Na mi bisa lawyer say asema ye brother yi e kan ye no na dwenchire anase mwaye odbe ma no wo ho eno ne sem eno o ka sem ejina e kwan ye fa so aye chi wo eso obi o no ma okotena saa eyi metri mu bi eno ko wie aye ene e chi no obi o no mo so a okoye boni bi ene e chi no enti ansa no betimi am eyi saa asewia no amwanya asem ne potin yi ano no ebeye di because onim adekua nipa ko no eye ansa na ye chi no anase ye de ne ko ye police station no asem a oka ye ma ye tre na no asem anase ye de ne ko court no asem a oka ka ho no anase ti de si bu asem no efa ye na ono no afutu de be ma wo a wo hwe me ni se ti bibi se na so percent wo pass tena e wo kro we say ma entina ho emfo wadwen emubu anase enko nua nkubu sansan mbese mi yesi na wo hwa ase na me ye ne be yi no no so emoni timu ka bibi enchiro de hia se obeye ne se ko ne ko hu lawyer na cheche mu kire no ensimbisa bi won ma obebu saw san simbisa no eno ne be boa ama wahu ekwan ya ese wo fa so e wo ho no. Well, viewers, on this note I would like us to end today's interview. So I have Lawyer Thomas here. Lawyer, is there any advice or anything you would like the public to know?
There's one common misconception that I would like to get out of the way. Well, if you ask, I think a very important thing to know for the Ghanaian community in the Netherlands is that people might be worried that when they see a lawyer, that either the lawyer will cost a lot of money, or if the lawyer is cheap, he won't be any good. Because that's often the way it is in Africa. Na
mi bisa lawyer say ye di asem no ebe wi ye no ebia owe futu bi o ma na so wasem bi obeka wo honom e na o sha ase say asem bi on ma ehia ne pam efi se o hwe yen ye bibi manmu anase yen ye krom ba bi ye free ba ha say na ye free say ade bia eye fo no enye papa ade bia ne bo ye din no e na ye papa nti lawyer ne numbuo e din no ono na ye lawyer papa obetime di wasema amwodi nkunim obeso o ka che o say enye no kresa if you say or dream wu nipa na wo ba no ho ne ho no ma ba be ye wo de wasem betu ne nim ne ho no wa ye wa de na ma na wo gisika boti emu odu na se wudi nkunim na wo gisika ketu e bi na wudi nkunim a Jesus kan o je fa so wo so ne se eno enye no pre lawyer obeje oketwa no obetimi aye adwuma a lawyer obeje okese no ebetimi ntu mu nyina e ya de kro na.
In the Netherlands, the situation is very different. If a lawyer is cheap, it doesn't mean that he's bad. In fact, I would argue that it's the other way around. A lawyer who's willing to work cheap is a lawyer who can work fast, and is probably a lawyer with a lot of knowledge and the possibility to handle your procedure fast. What you should know as well is if you don't have a lot of money, then there is a system of legal aid in the Netherlands, which means that the state will pay the lawyer for you.
Yeah, you know, say na midika e ka chiro e fa say oka say ye ya adwin mu no fi say lawyer o gisika ne bowo from no ono onye lawyer papa ogusu e kan ye say e wo Netherlands ase no enche sa say lawyer o gisika ketua no che say onye papa lawyer o gisika ketua o dwen wo ho enti no enye se na fu no o dwen wo no o gi usika kese ama wako bitwes kakese ya wuntimi ntua wuni bi wo bia enka o man lawyer ho no se omboa eno nti ena omo no waye na adwen se wode no beto ho no waje obuo ketua bi se de be ye obi abenya asudwe ho no nso aka obi ho no na se wa ma waba obuo kese ho no ma bra na ho no sika no obeje ketua bi wodi wasema ma obemu wa mu se asero ade aba no o mo wadi enkunim e ho no haye nkwanchen na me ka ne sa no lawyer, can you continue?
So yeah, the Dutch system for legal aid, it basically means that the state feels, the Dutch government feels it's very important that everybody should have access to a lawyer. Government aid, because the Dutch government thinks it's very important that everybody has access to a lawyer.
Okay.
They have made a system of state finance legal aid, which basically means that independent lawyers like me, all lawyers in the Netherlands, they can ask for a subsidy to the government to help somebody who does not have the means to pay the lawyer.
Okay.
So it doesn't mean that the government is paying the lawyer so the lawyer works for the government, but it's a subsidy that the lawyer can ask to help somebody who does not have the means to pay by themselves. And this even applies to people without documents.
No, okay.
So you don't need to have rightful stay to
get a lawyer.
Yeah,
which
exactly.
the state will give that lawyer a subsidy. The lawyer can and then he said, or say, yes, sign a war and maybe your honum, and I say, Netherlands are buying a to honum, be a obi, a bass of a lawyer. A kind of say, will be a lawyer. In this over lawyer, and I say, we seek a crowd, no, won't mean lawyer, and a winning scout to your car. Government, and I say, a bino, I was subsidy be your honma or dema a year, lawyer, private lawyers, no, et say or no. Intino, Obana become one sem no, say, oh, dear, some number one. Isn't the winning skin intino. I buy a mass subsidy, no, say, only one sem no amount, no, we are buying us to Yanaka. And this Obana, so I do sika, and I want you sika botting, I would, I'll call you, be juicy, would do now. And one say, on your papa. Not just say, who needs Ghana so bad, no more, bet me, I can watch mamma. Ama aban ama nisika kakra no so de ahwe ne how far na eno nche say ono lawyer no oye adwuma ma aban nti ube kana wasam kire na na so kuyuto e de akire eye kutifo na say aban ama wo so anya asem na asem de kra wom kra ne say enye say wo a wo nkrata etisa kro we say mupe wo nkrata wo ni nkrata wo ho kwa say so nya lawyer e na wo nkrata wo ni nkrata sa sika na aban e de ato no mu say omode be ye subsidy ama lawyers no wo so wo akwanya e wo hu say wo so betimi afa lawyers so wo ni sika no wadi wa asem ama na aban ama no subsidy e wo eno ho lawyer. Anything else for us to run up this program?
What you should know when you are going to see a lawyer and you have the state aid subsidy, the state legal aid, the state will ask you to pay a small amount of the lawyer's fee to the lawyer.
Okay.
And the lawyer, how much it would be, it depends on the kind of procedure.
Yeah.
And it depends on your income level.
Okay.
And the lawyer can explain you all about it. What is a very nice tip that I have for all of you: before going to the lawyer, visit the juridisch loket. It's in Amsterdam, in the center.
What do they do there?
At the Vijzelgracht.
Okay.
They are not lawyers, but people who do know a bit about the law. They can assess your situation, and if they feel that your situation is complex enough to warrant the help of a lawyer, they will refer you to a good lawyer. And with the referral goes
with the subsidy.
Yeah, goes extra.
Yeah, percentage.
Yeah, you will have to pay less of the lawyer's fee. There's a 53
percent.
No,
Korting.
not percent. Korting.
Yeah,
Euros
korting.
korting.
Yeah.
So it's just a small trip
Okay.
to the Vijzelgracht. You
Okay.
explain your problems. You get a referral to a lawyer, and it saves you money.
Okay. The lawyer cannot be beside so will become our home view. The all can say ebia why being say wo ba lawyer honum na wanya subsidy ibia. Wo ba ne honum na eno no ye be hwe eye bosome so sika a wogie. So at ya say sika a wogie ansa na aban subsidy no ya to so de bua ma lawyer aka wasma ma no ansa na ye di ama na ansa kra so be ko lawyer honom no omo onkofu kuo bi honom na obodin no a ye se wo ko omo honom na wo de won sem ko to omo anim na omo ehwehwe ensem nimu no mu se sa asem we die ese lawyer we se ni nyama ese lawyer we se ni nyama na omo do ama lawyer no na eno no so no omo agina so omo agina sa ensem no so ahye eye sika esa aban no e de boa ewo wo sika tue ni mu enye so kolo ya no ho ma untu sika bi akra o sika no obetu sika kakra bi ejina eye sika wo je ne bosomi akatu ya no so je be weki kakra ma no wetue bi na aban no so afade aka no because subsidy a wa ahye bi wunim se de ni nyina sitie edi saa ene ye adwuma ewo saa lawyer afamu e ba subsidy e honom ne so. Your last words.
My last words won't be my last words actually, because I enjoy very much talking to you and being on this show, and in the future I hope to be on the show again and explain more, give you more in-depth information about specifics of Dutch law. For example, if there is a new regulation that you people should know about, or if you have questions for me that I could answer. So no last words from me, just for tonight. Thank you very much.
So what show me see and that's person offer lawyer. Now what can one say me no na ono so echeche mu chirewa. Me the amatrofo no egu afidie na se. Tro. Na frɛ lawyer. Anaso obetimi afrɛ mi osikanyim. Na me the eye the telephone number no amount. No akɔ ne honom akɔhuna ne na atwetwe enkomo. Okɔ ne honom na unkutu esika bia. Wudi ka akɔhuna na okobusa nsɛm a untu esika bia. Untu ahwe eyekwa kwano honom de kobusa ne nsem no so enkeka nsem a ese ohu enkyero aha ena mede ubesi
what's something on me oye mi ateche na do moja oro me why wabobom ponchani kansa bi ateche me the daddy wa mami fa hudi e be e fearing ko asomwai wa me boni mudia na me damete kwa mudia eno dia me toya inyumo oh me chre I want something from me oh yeah me at the gym na do moja oro me why wa bobom ponchani kansa bi achichire me the daddy wa mami fa mudia be a fearing ko asomwai wa me boni mudia daddy na me tengwa mudia eno dia me towa ya inyumo ayayi sawo me rari sawo tum sawa jiwa ayayi sawo me rari sawo tum sawa yasu jiwa ayayi sawo sawa jiwa ayayi sawa